As you probably know if you're watching this video, iron is one of the most important minerals you can take in from different food sources or supplements. This is because the element itself is a component of most of your body-related processes and production. Lack of enough iron within the body leads to iron deficiency anemia, which can cause severe issues within your body. This is why today we'll be going over the top 10 iron-rich foods you need to eat to keep your iron levels healthy. And we'll also talk a little bit about how much iron you need to have in your system to stay healthy and running. Before we get down to the literal meat and potatoes of the actual video, if you like these kinds of videos, please consider subscribing to our channel, Welcome to Wellness, as you'll find lots of other health-related content on many different topics. With that out of the way, just sit back, put your learning glasses on, and let's get on with the video. Types of iron. Now let's get this out of the way. Being a vegetarian doesn't excuse you from having enough iron spread around in your meals. While it is true that meat lovers are going to be a little bit more effective at absorbing iron well, it's definitely a myth that vegetarians and vegans can't have a balanced diet. In fact, half of today's list is based on non-animal products. Let's look a bit further into this. This is how it goes. There are two types of iron that come from foods: heme and non-heme. Heme iron is found within meats, poultry, and seafood, and is absorbed by the body a bit more easily. These types of foods are usually richer in iron, and the iron within them is more effectively absorbed. The second type is non-heme iron, and it is found in eggs, beans, and vegetables. Vegetarians thrive on taking in non-heme iron even though it's less effectively absorbed by the body. This issue has already been overcome by nature itself, as you can eat way more vegetables than meat in one go. So to sum up, there are two types of iron, and one is better absorbed than the other. Also, if you combine the two, both are better absorbed together rather than one by one. Now that we understand how it works, let's take a look at the top 10 best foods for iron intake. Number 10. Dark chocolate. Yes, believe it or not, there's a cheat meal in here somewhere. Dark chocolate has been proven over the years to have multiple benefits for the body, such as being a good antioxidant, giving you magnesium, copper, and last but not least, iron. If that's not enough, it's incredibly delicious, and with some imagination, it can be part of a good, healthy, nutritious dessert for the day. I mean, just because we're healthy doesn't mean we have to get bored out of our minds, right? And dark chocolate is surely one of those foods that help with that. The only issue with this is that you have to buy real dark chocolate, as most of it is either milk or fake dark chocolate, which are both substantially less nutritious. But other than that, if you can find the real thing, definitely add it to the bag. Number 9. Beans and lentils. Up next, we have beans and lentils, and all you vegan and vegetarian folks are going to enjoy this one. Beans are good enough on their own, but lentils especially rival meats and organ meats in many ways. The amount of iron in a single cup of lentils is practically the same as 100 grams of liver or tongue, and that's not all. Beans and lentils are plenty nutritious in other ways as well. They're full of protein and have many other fibers and minerals needed for the proper function of the body. As a food, they may be a bit more on the boring side, but the payoff is way worth it. Other than that, they're good for reducing inflammation in the body and have a great effect on muscle growth and maintenance. All in all, they're definitely a food many people are sleeping on, so don't be one of them. Number 8. Broccoli. Every child's nightmare, the broccoli. We all remember how our parents used to tell us to just eat our veggies no matter how much we despised them. Well, this one is actually for good reason. While broccoli itself doesn't contain as much iron as some of the other entries in this list, it still has plenty to spare while giving you an amazing amount of value at the same time. The trick with broccoli, and why it's recommended in many post-iron deficiency diets, is that it has not only iron but plenty of vitamin C as well. Eating lots of vitamin C can substantially boost your body's ability to effectively absorb the iron, and that's an amazing help. Combine that with the fact that broccoli has a good amount of iron within itself, and you have one of the most perfect iron-rich foods on the list. And if it's well cooked, it can even be kind of tasty too. Number 7. Pumpkin seeds. Up next, we have the legendary pumpkin seeds. These little buddies are in nearly every diet for everything ever, and for good reason. They have a little bit of everything, with iron not excluded at all. They're not only some of the best seeds you can actually get in your belly, but they're full of highly nutritious macronutrients as well, like well-balanced saturated fats as well as protein. It's a superfood and definitely one deserving of the name. Number 6. Organ meats. Coming up next, we have organ meats. Now, many people aren't big fans of organ meats, and they're definitely not everyone's cup of tea. But for those of you that enjoy a good tongue or liver, You'll be happy to know that 100 grams of liver is more than a third of your recommended daily iron intake. It also contains a bunch of vitamins, which yet again helps in providing the body with the needed resources to effectively absorb the iron you're taking in. Eating all organ meats can help you in many ways, but liver specifically is one of the most recommended foods for reducing the risk of nutrient deficiency of any sort. Specialists recommend that you have organ meats once every week for a balanced diet and a happy body. But hey, no one's forcing you. If you aren't the biggest fan of organ foods, this is why we have number 5. Number 5. Oats. Whenever someone tells you breakfast is the most important meal of the day, they oftentimes have something like oats in mind. This food is incredibly nutritious, and not only will it give you a bit of iron, but it will also give you a ton of energy to move around during the day, and will keep you full, so you don't eat cheat meals all the time. Oats are some of the purest forms of carbohydrates you can have in the morning, and that's why they're number 5 on our list. Number 4. Chicken or turkey. And number 4, we have the feathered beauties, chicken and turkey. Both foods are incredibly good for you with an average of 10% of your daily iron intake per 100 grams of meat. Turkey itself is a better source of iron, but both foods are filled with protein and some other essential nutritional values, so when in doubt, go with feathers. It depends on the country and religion, but most holiday traditions usually seem to have really balanced meals. Makes you wonder if people planned this or by accident. Number 3. Red meats. Time to bring out the big guns. With none other than red meat is considered to be one of the best sources of heme iron. Remember, heme iron is more effectively absorbed by the body, so red meat is one of the first recommendations for people with iron deficiency. It's also a great source of protein and an overall great food for meat lovers. Like all great things, there's a ton of controversy on whether you should eat it or not, but most experts believe that well-bred and well-fed animals are a great source of meat, so it can't be that bad. Number 2. Spinach. Spinach is vegetarians' and vegans' secret weapon regarding iron and many other important nutrients as well. It's jam-packed with iron, vitamins, folate, and potassium, and is one of the best foods you can have. Remember Popeye the Sailor? He used to eat lots of spinach, right? Now you probably won't get the superpowers he got from it, but it makes sense that he would eat lots of spinach, because sailors used to have a disease called scurvy, or sailor's disease. This was caused by a vitamin C deficiency, and this led to a ton of problems. Without enough vitamin C, you can't absorb iron, as well as many other things well, and your body starts shutting down at some point. Spinach is not only incredibly high in iron, but has a bunch of vitamin C to help you effectively absorb that iron as well, a superfood you definitely need to eat more of. Number 1. Seafood. And last but not least, we have seafood. After talking about sailors, it's only fitting that we finish this list with arguably the best source of iron on the list, seafood, and particularly shellfish. In case you're wondering, clams are so high in iron that just 50 grams of clams gives you your daily iron dose by themselves. They're also heme iron, which makes it easier to absorb, and are incredibly rich in protein and healthy fats and acids. We kept this for last, as we know seafood isn't everyone's cup of tea. But for those of you that love your clams, you should definitely turn your attention there. Then there you have it, health lovers, the top 10 iron-rich foods you need to eat. Do you agree with our list? Make sure to tell us down in the comments below if we missed any of your favorite iron-rich foods. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to our channel as we release new health-related videos all the time. And lastly, if you want to know more about iron deficiency and how to spot it, make sure to watch our video on the importance of iron and 7 signs of iron deficiency. With all that said, we hope you had a good time. We wish you a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.